hiring issue, and he would stay at Michigan as long as it wants him, per sources. So I want to bring Heather and Paul in on this, because this had a lot of us kind of shaking our heads in a funny way off the top of the show this morning. Heather, what should we make of this? How is Michigan now handling this situation that comes as a surprise to a lot of people?
Well, it was a surprise to Michigan staff, too, because as we talked about yesterday, they were preparing for him to leave. Offensive coordinator Josh Gaddis knew that he was in a good position as an internal candidate and had support from inside the program to take over if Harbaugh left. There has been no communication. As of late last night, staff was learning about this through Adam Schefter's tweet. And so as of early this morning, I spoke to a staff member who said there still hasn't been any communication from the top down, and that is not atypical, I'm told. So there's certainly some frustration. How this is all going to play out when they do get back together next week is obviously going to be interesting. But I'm also told, look, this is Jim Harbaugh. He is a quirky guy, and when he gets back, he's going to focus on the task at hand, and that's just how he operates. So they're all expecting that to be quite the norm as well. And they're not coming back until mid next week as a staff. Of course, that could change, but that's the plan as of this morning. Okay, so that's fair. And yet, Paul, I think the question is reasonable. What damage, if any, is done here?
Jim Harbaugh could screw up a one-car funeral, Greeny, and I think he did that yesterday. He had everything going for him. He had the best season he's had at Michigan. He goes to the playoffs, and he has a good recruiting year. And in some ways, he throws it all away. I'd use a stronger word, but we're on morning television. And for what? It's apparent from listening to the experts, he did not have this job. It doesn't look like he would have gotten the job. He held his school hostage for a month. He promised recruits, you sign with me and I'll be here. And I know that some have said he's been transparent, but he was MIA on one of the most important days of the year. And I think it's a very terrible look for Jim Harbaugh in Michigan.
Yeah, and so what are the repercussions of something like that, Paul? I mean, he's in a battle with Ohio State at the top of that conference that he finally won last year, although it's not reasonable, I think, to say the scales have been tipped in that direction, but certainly maybe there was some hope it was moving that way. Does this impact that in the big picture, in your opinion?
I think it does. It's given Ryan Day at Ohio State a tremendous recruiting advantage. He already had that. But now, you know, if it comes down between one player deciding between Michigan and Ohio State, Ryan Day just plays the tape of this program this morning. What else does he have to do? Because Jim Harbaugh just looks confused. I mean, he's nearly 60 years old, and he's trying to decide, like a lot of these 18-year-olds on signing day, which hat do I put on? And it turns out that the hat I think he wanted to put on wasn't even available. That's the worst part of this. It's one thing if he turned down the job. But Greeny, it doesn't look like he did that. It looks like he went up there and found out he may not be getting the job.
That's correct. That certainly is the impression a lot of people have. And if you listen at the top of our show, both Courtney Cronin and Dan Graziano, it certainly seems to have gone that way. That said, National Signing Day was yesterday, Heather. At least immediately, was there any impact on Michigan? Did it impact his recruiting here? Is it going to hurt him in the short run?
Not immediately. They have the number 8 class in the country as we speak. And look, the source I spoke to this morning said that this could be the best offense that he's had in his tenure if it sticks together. And their offensive line is arguably one of the best in the country, if not the best in the country. They've got a lot of holes to fill on the defense. And in particular, there have been some complaints, I guess, that they haven't used the transfer portal well enough to fill those holes. But in Michigan's defense, there are elite academic institutions that have different NCAA standards in terms of bringing players in and credits. It's complicated, but they have holes to fill on defense. If they can do that, they can be a very good football team again.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.